Guys, just think
The
about
harder you grind, the bigger you dream.
Yes,
The
sir.
harder you grind, the bigger you dream.
Yes, sir.
The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said the harder you grind, the bigger you dream.
Around, but you know who I am. Sosa Godfrey, all that good shit. Oh, good stuff. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
You know what I'm saying? My name Mook, Chris, Musa, however you want to present it, as long as it's one of those three. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what's up with y'all? We two people at the High Codes Podcast.
The High Codes Podcast, the cool guys.
You know what I'm saying?
The cool guys. So how y'all feeling, man? You know, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, you know what I'm saying? How y'all feeling?
Moogie wants to take that.
You know what I'm saying? It's Ramadan right now. It's the holy month for me. So, you know what I'm saying? I've just been chilling. I've been on my ding, fasting. You know what I'm saying? From everything, not just food and water. You know what I'm saying? So, like music.
All haram.
Yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep it religious. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep it righteous. But other than that, everything good, man. Mentally, I'm in my zone as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think that helps. But physically, you know what I'm saying? A little tired. Sleeping schedule tried crushing me, but it is what it is. We're going to get through it. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah.
That's all right. That's all right. How about you?
You know, man, life. You know, life is a beautiful thing, and as long as you're here, that's all you can be. That's all. I mean, that's all you can be happy for, right? You can be happy you're here. So,
Absolutely.
As far as the mental, I think I'm good on the mental. You know, I'm happy. I'm moving. Things can always be better because it's life. You know, like you said, the harder you grind.
Yes. The bigger you dream.
So, you know, as far as that goes, that's how I see it. Physically, like my brother Muka said, you know, it's a little gloomy outside. It's a little rainy. So, you know, the bones, you know, I'm a little old. I'm getting a little older now. So
Nah, for real.
Yeah, for real.
So
I
the
can relate.
bones feeling a little bit. But, you know,
The joints ain't like they used to.
not
be.
like they used to. But outside of that, you know, it's good. It's good vibes on this side. You know, like I said, I'm just happy to be here. Every day is a blessing type shit.
For sure. My week, yeah, for sure, man. I
How
feel
you
like
doing, brother?
I'm
How
good,
you
man.
doing?
Oh, y'all asking me? Oh,
Yeah,
man, I'm
you
so
know.
important. It's like that. But yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good for real. You know, in all aspects of life, you know, God is always working good mentally, physically, and everything, man. And you know, we here. So with this, right? Like we got to go back, like way back. So what made y'all want to do this? Like, cause I know it's hard to, you know, start something and be consistent with it. So, like, what made y'all want to do this? Or what hobbies did y'all have coming up? You know, like, that kind of segued into this.
I'm going to let the CEO take that question first.
CEO,
Okay.
All
Put me on the spot there. All right. So I would say like we've been friends since like 2008, 2009. So like over a decade. And in part of the friend group, we have friends who've been friends longer than that, you know. So we've always just been together and we've always sort of shared a common brotherhood. And one of those things we've always been, I think, good at is talking to each other or like just kind of seeing where each other was at. And I think shout out to the homie Miles in 2012 when I was doing this blog Hazy Thoughts. I might have started that in like 2010, but in 2012 he hit me was like, "Yo, you should really think about like putting this on video, on camera, like you know these conversations we had when we smacked." He was like you and Mook, like them some of the best conversations I hear, and I'd like to, you know, for everybody else to hear them. So that's kind of the start of all of this, like you know, as a thing. And I think we kind of, you know, grew up, did some things, had to have some life experiences, and then like 2018 we kind of came back and we're like, yo, let's do this for real. Like let's take all the stuff we talk about, all the stuff we think, all the stuff, you know, all our group chats, all our weekend trips, and let's give it to the people. So
Okay, that's nice.
And
you know what I'm
then
saying? That experience. Go ahead.
And for me, like Charles said, 2010, 11, he started the High Codes Joint. Me and Shirley, shout out Shirley, he over there.
Cameraman.
You know what I'm saying? Two would be snapping. Make sure y'all follow him. But we was riding around selling the first Hazy Thoughts t-shirts that we had with the gas match. You know what I'm saying? Haze for Thought was a joint, and that was a typo. because it wasn't supposed to say Haze for Thought, but it worked though. You know what I'm saying? And it stand fit the theme, so we let it rock. And then my life hit some rough times, and then I kicked it to North Carolina for like 4 or 5 years. And then but we always stayed in contact though. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got back home, actually I came home for Charles's birthday. His girlfriend bought me a ticket, and I came home, surprised my mans. And then Chuck said it then. We was intoxicated. So we was just like, he told me then, he was like, hey, bro, I got something for you when you get home. And I was just like, all right, bro, you know what I'm saying? We'll see, inshallah, you know what I'm saying? All that. And then I actually got home, and it was Tunji's birthday party. And Chuck was just like, hey, bro, we about to start a podcast. And I was like, Charles, what is a podcast? And he was just like, you smart, you'll figure it out. And that was good. We intoxicated again. You know what I'm saying? And,
A lot of intoxicated.
No,
Wow,
for sure.
that's all good. No, I'm
And
saying
then-
respectfully.
Yeah, for sure. But it was all out of celebration. So both times, you know what I'm saying? So, and then he told me that, and then like about 6 months later, like Chuck said, 2018, late 2017, we got our microphones. Omatic had this sound man, got the software for us, and then we started our first jump. And Charles doubted us. He didn't think we was gonna last this long.
Yeah, I thought we was gonna do 3 episodes and
For
be
sure,
done.
and be done with it. But here we are, like 100 and what?
60 some
know what I'm
episodes
saying?
later.
So,
Where did the doubt come from, though? Like, that's what I want. Yeah.
I mean, I feel as though like we've tried to maybe do somewhat similar things or somewhat things in this kind of realm, and we just weren't dedicated. And I feel as though like it was just kind of youth. Like when you're 18, 19, 20, and you say you're gonna do something, sometimes it's easy just not to do it. So shout out to all the young people who actually go through with this shit. Like,
No, for sure.
I mean, go through with everything they say. I'm sorry, I have a cursing
No,
problem.
you good, you good.
But yeah, I think that's like that was where the doubt came from. Just the idea that like we've kind of done stuff and we weren't serious, and I was just like, why would we be serious about this? But like you said, like 160 episodes, 3-4 years later, we got way more merch, as you can see. Like I'm wearing some older stuff.
he's
he's
wearing
wearing
the
some
first
new
jump. I
stuff.
think
Yeah.
I'm wearing the latest one.
We've done some things, like we've been to places. We just came from NY doing some stuff. So it was like, yeah, you know.
Recorded in Art Basel, Miami 1 year.
That's crazy, man. So it's just like, I think the fact that the journey, right? Like y'all embraced everything. So it's just like the doubt. I'm like, whoa, like you said 3 episodes before, but it's just like, why would you doubt yourself? But I think, sticking with it. So did y'all like write this down on paper, or was it just like, okay, I know you said it was like a whole bunch of thoughts at first, but have y'all ever like wrote down like, okay, bet this is what has to happen here, and this is what has to happen there?
Yeah. I would say like after year 1, like it was a far more like after we got through that, like, oh wow, like we do episodes every week. Like we put out content, and it's different when people feedback. So I think like some of the feedback you get at first when people are like, oh, y'all were talking about this.
Yeah.
And it's like you actually had to listen because you talking about something that happened at minute 38.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're not talking about something that happened like 3 minutes into the episode.
Right.
So when you get that kind of feedback, it's like, maybe we should like, put some thought behind this. So I think like you said, putting stuff to paper was probably year 2 and 3 with like, these are the goals we want. So like we want X amount of subscribers.
Right.
We want X amount of followers.
Right.
We want this and that. So yeah, like that stuff came through. But I think that's also true. Like I think like imagination is big.
Right.
And before you can even like put stuff down on paper, you really have to
Yeah, you got to really think it through. You got to see it
imagine.
through and then imagine.
See it.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Because
For real.
a lot of times before we write it down, like we talk about it longer, and then it's just like, all right, once we finally figure it out, it's just like, okay, Stan, we're going to go forward with it. Because like you said, a lot of times, like the first time we ever wrote anything down was like when we wrote the business plan for Hazy Thoughts. And we did that. We was also intoxicated. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's been like, for some reason, it always stems from that creativity. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why our name fits us so well.
Yeah, so I guess these ideas, right, and how you guys respectfully indulge. I think the notion of how you guys push each other is dope to see too. Because it's like, all right, man, like I seen it, with the merch. So what made y'all really want to go like the merch route? Like if we want to, piggyback that, like, okay, what inspired the merch?
I would say like for me, it's just more so like I'm not big into fashion. Like I anybody who really knows me knows like I'm a sweatpants and like t-shirt cat for the rest of my life in the summer. Shorts. I love socks. Like
Okay.
that's my fashion. As far as my fashion goes.
That's cool. That's cool.
But for me, I think it was all about branding and having people know what this is. So like, what's the easiest way for someone to kind of know who you are to see it?
Right.
On a
And
t-shirt.
if I'm wearing something that says Hazy Thoughts, you'll ask about it, whether, and that'll stir up conversation. And that's what I always hope for with the merch, that the people who wear it, because, like, to wear something that says Hazy Thoughts out there in public, like, somebody's going to be like, what is that? Like, you know,
Right.
So to me, like, first of all, to buy it and then to wear it, like, that's a statement in itself. And, like, I don't try to, like, overhype that, because I don't like hype. I think hype is the detriment to everything. I think everything should
That's
be
deep. That's
so
a
I
bar,
think,
man. You dropping bars on my tongue. Okay.
Nah, I just think everything should be organic. So like, I think when you wear this, you should like go through all the thought processes. Like, I'm wearing something that says this. What does this say about me? Like, what is this? Like, if I'm saying something that has Hazy Thoughts on it, what does it say about like what I think? And I always feel like if I need to explicitly tell you that, then you don't get it.
Okay. How would you piggyback off of that as well? Like, how do you feel about that?
I guess you could say me and Nomadic are the more fashionable ones when it comes to high codes and hazy thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So we come from the home of streetwear, I like, in my mind. You know what I'm saying? We got the shooters and we all ones and all days and all of those. And it's just like, so why not? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like our podcast and then our demographic is just like centered towards that demographic that grew up with the streetwear line, that grew up like in this county. Sabiato, I was trying to think of them. I was having a chill brain fog.
It's all
But
good.
yeah,
It's all
you know what
good.
I'm
Can't forget the
saying?
sob though.
For never.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. And then it's just like placement is key with me. Like I like to wear, like I like clothes. And then it's just like if it's my business and we make clothes, it's just like that saves me money and brings us money. So. And I like our merch. I thoroughly enjoy our merch.
Yeah, like shout out to
like
Sound Man. He
sure.
finds the most comfortable. Like I would tell you, like
Fabrics
this
and-
texture and
yeah,
stuff.
for
Like he
all
takes
that.
his time. So like it's really thought out. Me personally, like I said, like
Yeah.
sweatpants and hoodies for me all day, every
Yeah.
day. Shorts when it's above 80.
But that's just like what I think of. It's just like when it comes to why we made merch, I was just like, bro, like why not? Like we came from the home of streetwear, and then it's just like everybody else doing it, but it's not like we can do it in a different way. Like we said, Omatic finds or Soundman finds all the good fabrics. Me and him talk about placement when it comes to the clouds and the logos and things like that, colorways. So
I will say one thing though, I love tie dye. So like,
Yeah.
if there's anything I'm a vouch for is some tie dye. So
sure.
like, when you see tie dye, know like that's me. Outside of that, like everybody can have whatever.
new tie-dye coming soon.
New
people.
tie dye coming soon. That's
That's all right,
that's
man.
what I
You
do.
just plug that in. Tie dye.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta watch out for that one. All right, for sure.
Cop some new tie dye. Make sure y'all
That's
do
all
that.
right. That's all right.
HazyThoughts.com. Oh, sales still going on.
Oh yeah,
so
420 sale, the April sale. You know what I'm saying? However you feel, it's still going on, people.
That's all right. That's all right. See, plugging yourselves in, networking. See, look at y'all, man. You ain't gotta tell them much, man. They
know
shouldn't.
those,
Hey,
huh?
look, man, we got the merch. Yeah, okay. So the notion of, building a team, I feel like everybody has a role, right? So it's not like, oh yeah, bet, you just gonna do this and this is all you could do. So like the beginning of it all with the episodes, where did you guys really, with this notion of trial and error or see growth within, the episodes of progress? What'd you say?
I'd take it to Miami. Like we went to Miami. Like we used to go to Art Basel. Shout out to Art Basel. That happened last year because of COVID. But shout out to Art Basel, one of the best events if you're into like art, culture, all that type of music, good,
fashion,
good, all that stuff.
that.
It's a great event in space. We went there the year before. We like actually started all of this, and I think we had like bought some like shirts just for ourselves. Like we bought like 3 or 6 shirts just for each of us. And when we was there, we were kind of like talking our game plan. We were like, this is what we gonna do when we come back. This is how we gonna do this. This is how we gonna do that. And I feel like that was kind of like a stepping stone for us because it was really like
Our first time out of town as a company.
yeah, and I think it was even like more the first time we really were like, yo, this is kind of what everyone's doing. So like I remember hitting on Soundman on Matic and being like, yo, you're the only person I know who could do this. Like I know you could do the technical stuff in a way that I wouldn't have to worry, you know, it's not going to be faulty. Like, you're like the best person I know for this. So that was a thing. So like, I remember like once we were in Miami, really like talking and being like, yo, we're going to do this. Me and Mook, this is what you're, and like really kind of setting the parameters. And then as we grow, like I remember Soundman too would be snapping, like he started taking pictures and was like, you know, I'm trying to like see what's good. And we were really trying to move into the visual element as well, like get our visuals up, get our YouTube subscribers and all that up.
Why not grow with your man?
And it kind of aligned perfectly. So like I think that's always been our thing, that like the homies have skills. All the homies have skills.
Right.
All the homies are trying to look to learn and grow their skills. So if you can find little places to like help each other, let's do that. And I think, like I said, starting in that time in Miami, when wasn't, like I said, we might have done like 3 episodes then, if that.
Maybe. We
weren't even like really like full-fledged into this, to now, like I think everyone knows their roles a little better. Everybody feels more comfortable. And like we could probably do an episode right now and like you give us like 4 minutes and like
the chemistry is just the chemistry,
and we'll just do it.
Yeah, I feel y'all on that, and I see that too. I do definitely see that, like with the episodes and how y'all growing. I like how, you know, everybody has a role. Nobody tries to overstep nobody. You know, things of that nature. Like, you know, and I feel like y'all bring the best out of each other too. You know, definitely with the conversations. I know definitely like, you know, politician Charles, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, like on the political team. But it's just like, you know, and then of
mayor.
course, you said you running for, okay.
New Carlton.
He's not playing.
I know he probably would be serious with it. And then, you know, Mook also, you know, getting ramped up too, but I feel like you push him, and I feel like you know, Mook respectfully pushes you too.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
I think what people gotta realize is that like we're really friends.
Yeah,
like it's not
like
like
this isn't fake.
Yeah,
Like,
this not
right.
We didn't were like, yo, I think you cool on Twitter.
Nah.
Let's do something together. And like I talk to this man, if not like once a week. Like if I don't talk to him once a week, it was a really bad week. Like
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Like I was really off my game that week.
Facts.
Like I was in my own world. Like if I don't talk to him or Omatic, then like I might be going through something. Like you should probably check on me. So like I don't really think it's like pushing each other. It's just like, yo, if he wouldn't say some of the things and I wouldn't say some of the things back, we wouldn't be real. And I think that's like you came on our podcast, and I remember like we were talking about like relationships, right?
Right, yeah, absolutely.
We would never be that podcast. Like anytime I go on Twitter and I see like 3 dudes doing this, what are they talking about? They're talking about women. It's like, why are you 3 guys talking about ladies?
Right,
There's no woman in the room.
Right.
It's feeling like a Chief Keef video. It's very weird.
Yeah,
but
said Chief Keef video.
It's not
very
my
weird.
business. It's not my ministry.
I got you though. I understand what you're saying. Okay.
So for me, it's like that wouldn't be real. Like if we got up here every day and we're talking about women.
We don't even talk about relationships or women outside of the
That's
time.
my point. Like that wouldn't be
outside
real.
Of the podcast,
Right.
Women,
you know what I'm saying? You know what we talking about? Like the politics, the religion.
Yeah. Y'all talking about things that matter, and I think the way that y'all talk about the things that matter is like.
I was gonna say like it's not that it matters. It's just that like people talk about like people are allowed to talk about relationships. Maybe that matters.
For sure.
But like, please do not try to act like you are talking about something important. People just like mess.
Okay, I got
like
you.
what we talk about ain't no mess. Like
Right.
if I tell you about some stuff that's going on in China with the Muslims being persecuted,
Uyghur Muslims.
That doesn't get you no retweets.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying that the way that you guys format it though and like bring it, I think for me it's just like the fact that it's blunt. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it's wrong.
Oh, okay,
you feel me? The fact that you're like, okay,
I thought you were talking the actual content.
No. Like the fact that it's just like, okay, this is what it is, straight up. This is my point of view. Or, whatever.
That's what
you feel me? And it's just like I think the way that it's presented is the dope thing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't come off. It doesn't come off as in like, bet you know what, I wrote this down, so I'm just going to say.
I appreciate
that. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're literally in the motion.
I was about to say, Charles, like. We tried that in the beginning.
So y'all tried
let him explain. He can explain to you.
All right.
So like I can stamp like the first maybe 10 episodes.
Yes.
Me and Charles really tried to like talk out like and plot out the topics that we was gonna talk about.
We tried to do this dumb intro like this is the story of the week.
Yeah, like all that wild shit. All that wild.
In retrospect.
And it felt cheesy. You know
It was cheesy.
It didn't feel like us. It was like Charles. We always talk about organic. You know what I'm saying? And it just wasn't organic. And then, like, after that, Chuck was like, I asked him. I texted him. It was like a Wednesday. I was like, hey, fool, you coming home this week? We recording. He said, yeah. I said, what we talking about? he didn't respond back to my text message. He left me on red. And so I was like, all right, bet. And then when I seen him that Saturday, I asked him again. I was like, bro, what we talking about? And he didn't answer me. We was outside doing us before our pre-recordings, how we do. And so
We spark before every
yeah,
recording.
for sure.
It's cool,
So
respectfully.
We
You know
can,
what
we
I'm saying? Y'all do
sparking.
what y'all do.
We
It's
sparking,
cool.
and I'm just like, bro, what we about to talk about? He don't answer me. So I'm like, all right. I asked him again when we about to go inside. He don't say nothing. And so we get inside, and then Charles does, I believe that might have started the intro that we do now that y'all know and love, you know what I'm saying? But that's when we first, like, we stopped mapping it out and just like, bro, we having conversations. Like, the organicness that comes from me and him talking about politics, music, anything serious situation is just because we having a real conversation. Like, we forget that camera's there sometimes. But now it's like the lights are, like, the lights.
Yeah, you
help
got
with-
the same setup. Your lights
yeah,
are not
you know
that
what I'm
hot
saying?
though. I like your
yours
lights.
not as hot, but
You got room
know,
temperature
Yeah, I
lights.
appreciate
sure.
it, man. You know, we working hard, man.
But like when we, like me and Charles get lost in conversation a lot. Like, and Charles does a great job of like bringing it back. Cause like if he
good.
don't, then we'll just go on like a vicious tangent, and it won't even be entertaining anymore. It'd just be two niggas talking information. Like, and it wouldn't be. It'd just be at that point it's an argument, debate type, and that's not
need it.
entertaining.
Right, and what I was saying about it is because, like I said, the way that you guys present your show, when I watch it, I'm like, yo, like y'all is just really in tune. It's blunt, it's raw, it's straight to the point. You feel me? And I think that's what people should, want to see, as opposed to being like, okay, hey, now it's 7 o'clock, or now at this time, or whatever. So I just feel like the way that you guys, go there, and you guys aren't afraid to go there. You know what I'm saying? I definitely salute y'all for that.
Appreciate
Because
that.
it means a lot,
Respect.
really, and it's needed.
Nah, I
It's
appreciate
needed
that, bro.
because, hey, we got to hear it somehow, some way. Somebody could tap in and be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I like what he said. I like what Mook said. I like what Chuck, I like what they said. And you don't hear that perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like y'all really think out the box with, some of the things that y'all do. And y'all just blunt and authentic with it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, and I hope the people who listen they appreciate it too. Yeah, I think sometimes blunt comes off with like negative connotation, so maybe that might be my, psychoanalyzing myself. But I think I want to tell the truth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
the
what
most
I want to
important
do.
thing,
So
for sure.
like, if it comes off blunt and that's what gets it to the people, that works. If you gotta be a little softer, I just want to, one only thing I do want to do is respect people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Outside of that, like, I don't care as long as it's truthful
Yeah.
and it's respectful. I let the chips.
Yeah, you let the chip
lay.
fall. Yeah, but I would say that y'all are very, very passionate though. Like, cause you could, like, when y'all are in the mix of it, it's like, yeah, you in the mix of it, and it's
Gotta
like,
be.
all right, bet, let him have his moment.
If you're not
like,
passionate, I don't think it's real.
right?
Nah, for
That's a
real.
fact, and I think that's the thing that y'all emphasize and stress a lot,
Yeah.
with the show. So it's like whatever y'all are talking about, and you could just tell, like, okay, bet, like, oh yeah, this is him all day long. Like you said with politics, like, what is your favorite subject? What do you like talking about? Mook?
I fuck with politics too. That's why I let Charles go. Omatic the one that don't really.
Okay.
Sound man be trying to.
Sound
He
man
wants
the
pop
one.
culture. He
Yeah,
wants.
for sure.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? I think that's a numbers thing. He's a numbers guy.
Yeah, he be listening to
But-
Kevin Samuels. You know,
Oh wow.
you know how that goes.
Why you do that to my man?
You know how that goes.
But yeah,
Shout out Kevin.
I'm a politics, history, whatever for real.
He's a historian. That's
Historian,
yeah.
historian.
He's a
Nah, that's cool.
historian
That's
guy.
good. That's
Cause
good
like
though.
like you said, me and Charles push each other. It's just like a lot of times my arguments or like my rebuttals to Charles are historically based.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Cause it's just like, bro, like this came from somewhere, rooted from somewhere. Like let's get to the root of the issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's just like that's where my angle is, and then Charles be like, "But Mook, today is today," and I'm like, "I feel you," but the shit keep repeating, so it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So we go back and forth like that.
Okay.
And, but I like politics. I don't really like talking about religion, but if you want to, we can. Education, I'm big on education.
Yeah,
if
for
you,
sure,
If you
definitely.
don't know me, then just know that there's one thing about Mook fuck with the kids, and y'all steering these kids down the wrong path. So, you know what I'm saying? If you really cared, then you do something, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's just me.
He said that's just him. All right, so I know that you guys, basically, historian, politics and everything. So, like, with weight heavy this week, obviously in the news and what everybody's saying, what was y'all take on it? You know what I'm saying? What was y'all take on it? And
Oh, yeah.
You talking about George Floyd?
yeah, the
wrong?
George Floyd,
Oh,
and the
okay.
trial. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Chuck, what you think?
You know what's interesting? No, you know what's interesting because this is an interesting week in my opinion. Because 420 is this. Well, 420 was this week.
Okay.
And for me, like 420 is that's our holiday. Like Hazy Thoughts, High Codes the podcast.
Right,
you
right.
get it. That's our holiday. So ever since I've been like 16. Like I've been participating in this holiday like quite heavily. Like this is my day where I get I get fried a lot, but like if this is not a top 3 day for me getting fried during the year, then like wow, what was going on that year?
Right.
But with everything that's going on in the world, like I'm black, I've been black, I'm never not gonna be black. So this is gonna sound real crude, but it is what it is. Like George Floyd, the acquittal of Derek Chauvin, I don't even know if that's how you say his name correctly, whatever, for murdering George Floyd is something that happens very rarely in this country. White police officers, or police officers in general, they don't really go to jail for killing black people unjustly.
People, period.
Yeah, it's not a thing that happens. Like the police force in this country, that's not what happens here. So for me, like, and look, like I think 3 people, at least nationally, have been killed. Like 3 black people nationally in the news have cases very similar to George Floyd in this last week.
Absolutely.
So for me, like I said, I'm black. I don't know if y'all can tell, and I'm always going to be black.
Right.
So I gotta move on with my life, and so like this week it's hard, it's stressful, but. This ain't no different from the week Trayvon Martin. This ain't no different from the week Philando Castile. This ain't it for Sandra Bland. This ain't no different from Breonna Taylor. So I could do this for years. I could do this for days. I can name list and list. So I got to keep my mental straight.
Yeah,
so
for
this
sure.
week
Yeah,
is 420 week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so like that's what I'm like, and like that's what I'm saying. Not to be crude to anybody.
No, absolutely.
But like I get it, and I prayers to his family. Like,
right, for sure.
Like this is a very sad situation, but. I'm big on like what are we gonna do? So like oppressed people only have a few options. And like I don't want to go like turn your podcast.
No, I understand.
But there's only a few options.
Yeah, no. But I just wanted you to, yeah, of course. And then go ahead, Mook, for sure.
I couldn't even celebrate it for real. Like my man got murdered this week, so it's just like Charles was talking about 420 and all that. It's Ramadan for me, so it's just I didn't even celebrate for real. So it's just like. My mind
I'm sure the thoughts is flowing. I'm sure the thoughts are just flowing.
Yeah, for sure. They really are. You know what I'm saying? We recording tonight? That's another topic. but nah, like my man died this week, so it's just like that was thinking
Rest
about
in
that.
peace.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, Fat Trail. And
not that one.
Not that one. Kentrail. I'm gonna start saying rest in peace, Kentrail. My bad, y'all. But yeah, man, so with that, I got that news, and then like a couple days later, I guess the ruling came out that Cuz got locked for what he did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like everybody talking about like, with me, it's just like if this becomes the norm, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
that'll
but
be
it's
lit.
just like we had like Charles said, three babies just got killed the same week.
It was a girl, like Ma'Khia Bryant.
Yeah, Ma'Khia Bryant.
15?
Yeah, 15.
Like imagine calling the police because someone trying to jump you, a grown woman. And a girl trying to jump you, and you call the people, and they come and kill you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they just did
you know
the
what
job
I'm
for them.
Right.
So now and this is my thing. Like that just happened, and people are really trying to like justify that. While we just seen what happened with George Floyd we're not even a year. It's less than 11 months.
Yeah.
It's less. So like for me, what do you want? Like, and I think this is one thing I would implore black people to do. Stop letting other people try to make you do. Like if you want to feel. Like if this stuff hits you hard, you should express that. But do not feel, I think, conditioned to feel. Because like no, you're a person and you gotta live your life. So if it makes you want to, please. But if it doesn't, and you wanna go get drinks and enjoy your week,
exactly.
smile, enjoy your week.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it was good though. It was good to see because it's something I don't feel like anybody in our like age range has seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like we was born into the Rodney King shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
we did get OJ though.
We did. Charles. But you know what I'm saying?
This is what our podcast is about. Like, if you wanted to know that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's why
I have no choice anyway.
But other than that, it's just like, Like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? He going to jail, but it's just like, we got to, like, come on, man. School shootings is still going up. The mass
You
shootings
see,
is
as soon
still
as they
going
let
crazy.
this, as soon as they open this joint
Yeah,
back
mass
up,
shootings went back up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
It's
that's
crazy.
a kill. Like, even during the pandemic, like, mass
Yeah.
shootings was still a thing. You just had to be in the right states and you had to read the right articles. So it's just like,
sorry.
the shit crazy. Like, and I'm a gun advocate, but gun violence is damn got no C.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that because my man got murdered, but it's just, I was saying that before that. Like, I was screaming this last year because it was just like, I knew, like, you putting people on lockdown, that ain't stopping
Sitting
the beefs.
ducks.
You know what I'm saying? That's not stopping the beefs. People know you at. You in the house. You either in the house or on the block. You're not going far. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you're way more touchable now than you were when the world was open up. So it's just like, oh, y'all, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing what you're doing, move right, move safe, you know what I'm saying? Or if you can't, don't move like that. For real.
Man,
This shit vicious out
look
here.
at y'all, man. Look at y'all just breaking it down. I'm gonna just basically say, like, for me, racism is a pandemic. I mean, straight up, it is. You know what I'm saying? We battling 2 pandemics right now. We got the
Genocide, for
coronavirus,
real.
and then we got, you know, the racism joint, right? And for me, I mean, yes, is there a little light at the end of the tunnel? Hopefully. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Inshallah.
optimistic about it. But at the end of the
I
day,
like
like you're
that.
saying, I just feel like, you know, we have to follow suit and really educate ourselves. You know, the knowledge is in the books. You know what I'm saying? We know how we need to move, you know, and, you know, if we really about it and being front line and you want to do that and change something. Stop talking about the problem. Everybody
for
keep
real.
talking about the problem. They ain't going to do this. They ain't going to do that. Whatever. Get out there and do the work. Because a lot of people that complain are the ones that's in the house cooling, that don't do anything. Oh, yeah, why is it this? It's always somebody. You seen that? You seen that? But y'all not trying to help nobody. Y'all say the community's messed up, but y'all not trying to get your hands dirty.
Not
You
trying
got
to
to
pay
get your hands
taxes
dirty.
either. Not trying to vote. Not trying to
Yeah.
pay taxes.
wow. I mean,
Seriously,
I
though.
kind of feel y'all, but like, here's the thing: like,
I
everyone
mean,
has to.
we're also in the business of not telling people what they need to do.
It's not even about everyone has to survive, and
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
in
That's a
particular,
fact.
black people have a different survival like instinct and tactics. So like sometimes you can be able to critique the system and not, you could critique the system and not really have answers for it because, like you said, you look at history. Like you said, if you read the books,
Yeah.
why would you?
yeah,
like
exactly.
if you really read the books,
Yeah.
why would you?
Them
Like
niggas,
you know what I'm
they
saying? Like
undefeated.
you know, and it's like, well, like I said, there's certain things that need to be done, and I agree with you. Like, don't talk about, be about it, but there's a certain level that like has to happen, and I don't think like anybody really wants to go there
Yeah, yeah.
because that's the level it would have to take.
Yeah,
Me and
like,
Charles-
you
me
gotta
and
really
Charles
do
talk
that.
about that level a lot privately, and
Yeah, I'm in a speech club, and like one
Yeah.
of the things I talk about that like.
it works. It worked recently.
As you
multiple
can see, the
times.
only reason why Derek Chauvin got whatever by the system is because they were scared that they might turn that place up again.
They
Like,
thought they
dead
was
ass,
gonna
like,
burn down that.
They thought they was
motherfucking
gonna
building,
burn that place down like they did
sure.
last summer, and they was like, "Yo, we can't do that."
because they really like got a police station up out of here.
They was like, "Yo, we can't
Yeah.
keep doing this here, like
Right,
not
yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
y'all can do that in the South or East,
Yeah.
but in this Midwest, like we're kind of tired of that."
Northern Midwest.
They're like, "We're kind of tired of that." So yeah.
Nah, for sure. I mean, you know, I just wanted to get y'all take on it because, you know, I know it's a heavy topic and I know that's like.
No, I appreciate. Listen, I appreciate you for like talking about stuff
because
like this
I think
too.
it's
For sure.
it's very, very important. You know, I try to educate people, inform people at the end of the day of what's really going on because the things that really hit home to us, we got to really let people know. Like if it's weighing heavy on your heart, get it out. You feel me? So with this, it's just like, you know, youngers, you know, they probably can't relate to this. A lot of youngers probably looking at this like, okay, man, you know, it's a numb situation. Like, what do I do? Or, you know, even myself is like, yeah. Breonna Taylor, like we've said the names before, so you know sometimes we get numb to these stories and we don't want to do anything. So I just wanted to hear y'all, you know, perspective on that, man. I like y'all for doing that, man. I
Oh, no,
appreciate
for
y'all
sure.
for doing
Appreciate you.
You
Yeah,
definitely
man.
can't feel defeated though.
that. Oh nah, we can't. We gotta keep fighting. We gotta keep going
I'm done.
for sure. So with the podcast, right? I feel like another thing. Can y'all break down like entourage? Because I think a lot of people need to know what that notion is, like the notion of like the yes man, entourage, things like that. Because with whatever you do, you know, being corrected and moving accordingly, I want people to understand that because I feel like sometimes people just look for, you know, approval.
You ever seen the show Entourage on HBO?
I've watched maybe like an episode or so.
So like our best friend, like I said, we're in the friend group. It was probably like 13 or 14 of us. So like one of our best friends, shout out P, that was like one of his favorite shows. And I think if you watch that show, what makes that different than I think what you have here is that there's one singular person. Like there's one person who thinks they're the star of the group. I could even point out our star. He's not here, KD.
For
Like
sure.
I would tell you, like
and he works on our podcast.
Like I would tell you,
as well.
he is the star. Like he is the guy, like of the group. Where if you be like, all right, he's the one.
Okay.
But there has to be a certain level. Like he's also the most. He's the humblest person I know, and I don't say that just. I truly mean that. Like
That's
from the
good,
bottom
man.
of my
He's
heart.
been that way.
So I think there's something to that. Like in a friend group, like everyone has to, once again, like in the podcast, everyone has to know their role. Everyone has to know their role in the friend group. Like some people are loud in the friend group. Some people aren't loud. So like if you aren't a loud person and you get loud, maybe people look at me like, so what's going on? Maybe people listen a little bit more. But if you just start being loud to be loud, people are not going. So like you know your friend group, and I think that's the beauty, I think, of this entourage, or whatever you want to call the friend group, however you say it. Like everyone knows their place, and that really sounds bad to say, but like everyone plays a part, so it's easy to be like, yo, you're wilding. Like I tell Muggs they're wilding all the time. Like I have no problems. Like you're fooling, my guy.
Yeah,
Big fooling.
But what I would just say is it's like I make a lot of sports references and analogies, and it's just like I like to compare us to like that one team where it's just like you got the one guy, but you can't leave him open.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a very next man up mentality, which I like, you know what I'm saying? Because if, say, Shirley can't make it, then we'll find, like, you know what I'm saying, KD will step in. If KD can't make it, Shirley will step in. We'll like both of them on the court, of course. But, you know what I'm saying?
Much better with both, but.
We're much better with both on the court. But sometimes that don't happen. And Shirley, you know what I'm saying? You go from making, 20-8 to, you know what I'm saying, a good 15-15. And that's how the game goes sometimes. And it's just like.
Gotta pick up some, pick
sure.
up the slack.
Sometimes
do
you
a
gotta
little
pick
more.
up the slack. Like sometimes Charles might not be into an interview as much as me, so it's just like that means I'm carrying it.
Yeah, you
know
gotta
what I'm
carry
saying?
it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then sometimes I might not have did my homework that week because I might have been working and just wanted to sleep. And Charles carries the interview, and I just chime in with my questions and topics while I piggyback off of what he's doing. So it's just like,
And vice versa.
you know what I'm saying? Everybody versatile. It's just like you got to know what you got to do.
That's
like,
a good word, versatile. I think that's
versatile. Yeah,
versatile.
there we go. That's
Like all
all
of
right.
us are versatile. You know what I'm saying? We can play multiple positions.
And that's good though, because you know somebody has to pick up the slack. You know, you don't want to feel like, oh my goodness, all the weight is on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, what
And
do
I think,
do?
and another thing is like, cause like in the main podcast job, like it's 3 of us. So it's just like if it was just 2 of us, picking up slack would be a little different. Like it might weigh on one of the other people. But like when it's 3 of us, you know what I'm saying, it's way easier because it's just like 2 of us being invested can stand and get the job done if one can't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, if all 3 of us did, then cool. Like that's vicious too, like we said earlier. But you know what I'm saying, with it being 3 of us, and I think that's the weight distributes evenly.
Right, and everybody playing to their strengths too. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like, you know, you probably, you know what you're weak at or whatever like that, but at the same time, just adding value to the situation,
Yeah.
bringing value to it.
And there's no pride or ego too. I don't mean to keep cutting you off.
No, you
but,
good.
you know
No,
what
go
saying?
ahead.
But,
I'm
like,
saying
it's
talk y'all talk. It's
no-
all good, man.
No, I'm just saying because like there's no pride or ego because it's just like none of us have an issue with stepping to the other one, asking if they could do this or like asking a question or like, you know what I'm saying, giving the power to the next man and shit like that. I mean, stuff like that. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that plays a big role when it comes to entourage too, like ego and pride. Like, because we men at the end of the day.
Right.
So it's just like ego, pride, and all that plays a role in daily life. You know what I'm saying? It's a sickness in life. But, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like that don't play a part here. And it never did, like inside the friend group and business. So it's just like, it's always been a big role too.
I'm glad you said that because, you know, pride and ego, that's heavy. You know, a lot of people, they don't want to maneuver and feel like, okay, bet, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that because their pride and their ego is in the way. So they don't even, like, check in with themselves and know where they're going, you know, wrong at. And then they bring their, you know, insecurities, they bring their expectations, you know, places where it doesn't even need to be and put it on somebody else. So the importance of networking, why do you guys feel like that is significant, and how has social media helped you guys generate this machine with the podcast and the merch?
Oh man, that's a good question.
For sure.
at least for me. Oh, you about to say?
No, go ahead.
No, I think for us, we had to grow into that. If there's one thing that like we probably weren't good at, or we probably still aren't good at, it is the networking aspect. It's like
especially on the internet.
Very much so. We stay at our kind of bubble and our kind of space, and like I think we network through like individually. So like we do really great on like, hey, we meet someone in an Uber or. You know, we go out someplace and we're talking to people about it. But, like, as a sort of business collective, that's one thing that I think we always, like, I told you we started writing stuff down. Like, that's kind of been the thing we've kind of focused on or wanted to do better is actually be like, hey, this is us. This is our package. This is our thing. But I think networking is important. I think if people don't know you, your peer group, or the people who work in whatever you do, how can other people find you?
Right.
Like fans are important. People who, listen, they're important. But that can only get you so far because, like, we got people who, like, they might be in Houston who listen to us a few episodes.
Might be in Massachusetts.
They might be who listen to a few episodes.
Right.
But that's here and there in their small groups. If you got people who, like yourself, who do similar stuff and listen and talk, now you're really spreading, like, your message a little further because... platform. So I think that's the thing. Like people, I think you got to remember platforms are important. Like people networking through people is cool, but platforms are ultimately like how words and messages get spread.
For sure.
Yeah, I was about to say we do a lot better when we're just word of mouth promotion is what we're good at because like we're very impersonable people. Like we don't like to just go up to you and just be like trying to sell you our business. You know what I'm saying? We'd much rather you be interested. Because just like, we don't like wasting time, breath, or energy. Let me just keep it a buck with you.
Okay.
Like, that's most of why it's so hard for us to network sometimes. Because it's just like, a lot of times I feel like not, like, it's going to be a no. Like, we can accept a rejection. It's just the fact that it's just like, bro, like, we know what we got, and I'm not about to oversell you or, like, overpitch you to, like, persuade you. You know what I'm saying? But if you come to us or you just like, you're inquisitive, or we just having a conversation, you ask me what I do, got going on, things like that. Or as you can see, got the merch on, and then you just be like, what's hazy thoughts? Or like, you know what I'm saying? And it's very easy to bring up a business in just regular conversation. Like, organic is very big with us. Like, we keep bringing that word up.
Yeah, nah. I think that's the word of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we
it's
just
okay.
wanted to be organic.
I
like,
use that word too.
Even
I like
when,
organic juice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And even coming on here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you coming on our podcast, us coming on yours. Like,
for sure.
It was a very organic process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, when it comes to that, like, that's what we like to do. And we say a lot in private, like, it's your time and then there's Allah's time and God, depending on what language you speak. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and we don't like, and we just live by that job, like, you know what I'm saying? But
I feel you on that.
And we make strides, I think we've been making some strides in the networking field, I feel like.
Yeah, I think y'all really have done like this for a marathon, like really. I mean, seriously, it's a beautiful thing because, like I said, us all going to school together and just seeing it, y'all stay consistent. Like, they can't say that y'all not consistent. Like, it's weekly. You know what I'm saying? It's in your face. It's like a spam message. Like, you're going to see it regardless if you like it or not. You're going to see it. If it's on the shirt, if it's on, whatever episode platforms too. Like, and for me, I was just like, yo, I'm inspired by this because I see the grind, I see the dedication, and every episode, like, y'all are getting better with it. It's to the point where the chemistry is like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Wade, LeBron back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron at 80 now,
I like it.
You feel what I'm saying? Because it's just, to that notion, it's like, all right, bet, lights, camera, action. Oh, yeah, I already know what time it is. I'm locked in.
Sure.
I already know what time it is. And y'all just push each other, in a great space. So I was just saying, man, keep that up, man. Keep
Appreciate
going,
you,
man.
boss.
For real,
No,
man.
for sure.
So,
it feels so good to hear that, man.
Nah, I'm serious though.
man,
I'm gonna be cause real recognize real. With me,
we-
I see something. If I like it, I'ma support it. Like, y'all probably like, okay, man. Like, he always tapped in. He always tweeting. Like, I tweet and repost. I want to see everybody else
son,
win.
We respect your grind, son. Like, we talk about it. We be like, hey, son, this man J Flow.
Hey, if it's one thing you're gonna do, you grind. Like, that's the thing.
For sure. Like, we
you
respect
said.
it. Like, you live what you speak. You know what I'm saying? The harder
appreciate
you
that.
grind, the bigger you dream. Because you do that.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, you really do it. Because, like, your episode came out, like, what, a month ago? You still promoting it. And it's just like, that's vicious. And then you start promoting this joint for, like, 2 weeks. And it's just like, bro,
and I'm
like,
going to keep pushing it, too,
yeah, for sure.
at the end
like,
of the day,
and
because
that's
I feel like
beautiful.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
You got to
like,
be consistent regardless of whatever episode it is or whatever
Yeah.
people see. Like, yeah, the
Son,
product is the product.
that's beautiful, bro. Like, real life. Because, like, not many people are that genuine and that serious and that passionate. You know what I'm saying? Even about their own work or other people's work. You know what I'm saying? But and you weren't scared to say just now that you was inspired by that.
Yeah, I was definitely
we know
inspired.
there's some people out there that was inspired.
Yeah, I was inspired. I'm not gonna lie about it, cause like, you know, seeing the episodes and everything like that, I'm like, yo, I'm new to this. But like I said before, like, I'm a student, so I feel like you could always.
Please don't think I'm laughing. I'm laughing at that guy for shading whoever he shaded.
Nah, man, I'm just saying, people be inspired. We're good. We giving you everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, at season 1, I don't know what else you want from us, bro.
He said, I don't know what else.
Nah, seriously, bro. Like, when it come to what we do, man, we good. Real life. So it's just like, my man, like, son, what? Huh.
But see, y'all had that confidence though. Like, even how y'all start y'all episodes, you know what I'm saying? And how y'all feel about y'all podcast. Y'all feel like y'all number one. So, you know, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool because I feel like that's the confidence level. If that's what you feel, that's what you feel.
I think it's weird to not be confident in anything you do, and not even off some like, oh, da. Like, people post pictures on Instagram because they're confident.
Right.
Like, people literally send out tweets with wild opinions because they're confident.
Right.
We done took a little bit of time and, you know, got together, set up some stuff, and about to talk. So yes, we can't. And my last thing is, like, big on hype is that, to be fair, anyone who does this, anyone who like sits and talks to people, or anyone who gives any sort of opinion, thoughts, is just doing that. No one is good at this. Like, no, I promise you, you can try to argue me. No one is good at it.
Charles does this for a living.
You like certain people and you don't like certain people.
Right.
And that's all that comes down to. So, like, there are people who watching this right now who are like, yo, dope.
For
There
sure.
are people who are like, get this off of my screen.
Right,
And
for
that's
sure.
fine.
Right.
Like, that is the beauty of life.
Right,
And that's
exactly.
all I'm here for.
Got you. For
That's all
sure.
I'm here for.
Retweet Charles. But we good.
Nah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all
Like,
got
we
that,
good.
y'all got that confidence, man, and that energy, and it's just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just do what I want to do. I mean, people gonna like it, people not gonna like it, but hey, life goes on. I must move on. You guys don't pay my bills. So
That's all. You know what I'm saying? And like
know,
you said, we
I know
drop every week. You might not like that one, but we gonna
There's
drop
been-
something that you gonna like.
There's been several seasons of Love and Hip Hop.
For sure.
If you ever think that what you're doing isn't good, keep that in mind.
For sure.
There have been several off branches, like sides, like everything. There's been several of them.
Jerry Springer was on for a dub.
Jerry Springer, Maury still comes on syndicated to this.
For
You're
sure.
fine.
You're
like,
fine, people.
Your stuff is
You're
good. Like,
doing amazing.
You're doing amazing, sweetheart. The Kardashians were on TV for 2 decades. Please
Bruh.
do not let anybody tell you what you're doing is
Real
like. Listen,
life.
nobody knows anything. I promise you. Like,
They out here, son. My 600-pound life. They out here real live crucifying people because of their weight on
Bro,
TV.
like,
that is not good television.
that's
It
not
shouldn't
good-
be entertaining. But
we
it's
literally
on.
watching people die. For
sure.
It's
It's
wild.
It's
It's
not good
wild.
but people love it.
But
So
people love
remember.
it. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever think what you're doing not good.
There's a kid making millions of dollars unwrapping gifts on YouTube. Please,
He's 8.
do not think you're great. You're
great.
amazing.
You're amazing.
It's these idiots who just can't find you that's the problem.
For
Trust
sure.
me, we know.
Or the haters that just saying whatever, and who knows why they hating, but you know what I'm saying? May Allah guide them.
Facts. I was gonna ask y'all, like, what was y'all favorite movies? You know what I'm saying, coming up
Ooh.
As a child?
as a child, and even now, like, you know what I'm saying, if you were to name maybe like, let's say 3.
Okay, let me just tell you why. When I was like 16, what was that 16? I was like between like 14 and 16. Like, we didn't have cable for like a couple months. Who knows why? Who knows?
It's like
But
Charles.
I watched these 3 movies repeatedly, and this probably shaped why I'm the person I am. The Breakfast Club, House Party 2, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't know if those are my 3 favorite movies, but like those are my 3 movies. Like, I love like the late 80s, early 90s, and those are my movies. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off, House Party 2, The Breakfast Club.
That boy love high school.
And then there's 3 other movies, but these are all black movies.
That's fine.
Brown Sugar,
Okay.
The Wood,
Okay.
and Boys in the Hood. Okay. So like those are my like 6 movies. Like I kind of just like if any other movie I like is like probably dead ass an offshoot of those.
Okay.
That's all right. That's all right. What about you?
Okay, I got Aladdin. Yeah, like dead ass.
Okay.
It's a whole new world.
You know, it's not Aladdin was that shit. Don't play
I'm just asking.
That's all good. Nah, Aladdin was one of my favorite Disney movies.
That's why I asked. I was just like, as a child.
I'm curious.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
You know
It's
what I'm saying? I
cool.
just
It's
wanted
cool.
to know.
Yeah, in general though. In
that's
general.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah.
What is
Aladdin, Menace to Society.
Okay.
And Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
Since we on the movie thing, I'm gonna have to say, me, Get Rich or Die Trying. I can always watch that. I don't know why.
Wow.
I can always.
Just know when I was young, I didn't like that movie. I watched it as an adult, and I was like, "This is not that bad."
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah. That joint. What else could I say? Coach Carter. I don't know.
that's
For some reason, I be finding myself watching Coach
That's
Carter.
a part. That's a part.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think
That's
Coach
a quality
Carter.
movie.
And then if
Shout
I
out
were to say the
Samuel L.
hood joint, because y'all named one, I'm gonna have to say Paid in Full. Only because of how like people was like moving, but it's
Are you more Ace or Mitch?
Ooh.
Or Rico, I guess.
That joint was cinematic, crazy too.
Yeah,
It was
man. I
shot
don't
very
even
well.
know, man. Like that joint was heavy, but I always watched that joint.
That's when you said Coach Carter made me think of Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Very underrated movie. Shout out to Hayden Panettiere. I think that's her name.
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, I think that's
shout
her.
out to her.
She's a quality actress.
She's doing well.
She's doing well.
Yeah.
That was a soft spot for white people.
So favorite genre of music.
Charles.
Favorite genre of music.
Yeah, what music? The genre of music.
This is gonna sound weird, but I'm currently obsessed with British UK rap.
Okay.
So there's this.
Shout out Heady One.
Okay, but I have these 2 guys. Like, there's these 2 old men. They have to be like
The 2 old white British
60
man.
man. Pete and Bass.
Okay, yeah.
That's their name. Like,
maybe it's Ben Boss.
yo, I'm really
about.
like super. Yeah, Pete and Bass. They got this song called "The Old Estate." Y'all should check it out. But yeah, I'm really liking British rap. I like alternative R&B a lot now too. So like that's something that's really like just sonically I like as far as like tunes, but Griselda. Yeah. Oh, Moneybag.
Moneybag.
His new album is fire, bro.
Yeah,
I played that joint.
I listened to
bangs with that.
I ain't listened to the whole joint yet, but yeah.
I have a take on Moneybag. Moneybag is sneakily one of the better trap rappers of the last decade.
He's not.
That is
He said he's not.
He's definitely not. I'm a trap enthusiast. So.
He is sneakily one of the better trap rappers of the last decade. Consistently, multiple radio hits for the last decade. Like you could pick in the last 10 years. That's my whole point. He's been around and he's always around. He's going. 2014 was like when his first joint, when that first mixtape joint came out.
Yeah, he wasn't big then though. He ain't hit until 2018.
Okay, Mook.
So he's been growing, and now he's at his ultimate like peak. Now he only has higher to go.
No, he's at his apex.
But people have said this before about when he was with Megan. That it was like At one point when he was with Megan,
I thought that was his rise right there.
That's my,
I was like, he's on his way.
So if he's on his way, then he's still climbing.
Yeah,
he's
still grinding. He's still working, man. He's still grinding.
I'm just saying,
he's gonna do some things after rap. I feel like I think he's gonna be an actor after this.
I think Moneybag is very good.
So what about you, man?
I'm a trap rapper for real.
Okay.
I mean, not a rapper, but I like trap music.
Enthusiast.
I love trap music ever since. Well, I'm a big Gucci head fan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's from the school of Gucci.
For sure, definitely. You ask me which one I like more? Which one do I prefer? Oh, old Gucci for sure. You know what I'm saying? Chicken Talk, you know what I'm saying? All that. But, you know what I'm saying? WAP not a clone. You say he is? Oh, man.
Who else? That's it?
Nah, oh man. Listen, you don't start him, bro.
Oh,
Bankroll.
No.
All the trap rappers are like Lil Keith and stuff. Like I listen to it because of him. Like,
Okay. So
I was gonna say Bankroll. If you gonna be a bug, Bankroll Fresh, rest in peace. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? But Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? I like jazz music.
Hey, you gonna name one trap rapper and stop, and you a trap enthusiast?
I mean, I'm not about to get into that. I ain't about to just list off trap rappers. It's not our podcast, Charles. Okay, Gucci Man, Gucci Man, Bankroll Fresh, Future, Young Thug, Lil Key, Got It. You know what I'm saying? Bankroll Fresh.
I like Got It.
You know what I'm saying? Got It be cranking.
I like Got It.
Yeah.
I've heard a few tracks. That's what I'm saying. Like, I listen to trap because of him. Like Lil Key is hard. Like, I like trap music that is particular. Like, if you're gonna make the same trap song, you guys can keep it. Cause like I was listening to Gucci and Jeezy in 05.
Right.
Like, so it's like I like it.
Right.
Also Boosie 08. Like that's some vintage trap shit.
Undefeated
So like, you know, like outside of that, like I'm kind of too old personally. Like, no disrespect, but like I'm a little too old for the trap stuff.
I mean, these niggas older than us rapping about it.
That's my kind of point. Like they just maybe grow up.
Yeah,
too, but
so
that's neither here nor there.
But a lot of them only classify as trap rappers because it's just like Key, like he got a song on his album that's more like a rock song.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
I like that.
And
I like that aesthetic stuff.
Yeah, like I like Sonics. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
if you
cool.
gonna branch it off and do other things. Like the reason I like Young Thug for real is because like his voice is an instrument. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. That's an interesting
Like,
take. A lot of people haven't said that.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Okay. I like Future because like a lot of people think
Future's the
he's
GOAT.
talking like crazy, but I just feel like, oh no, he's just speaking his truth and talking pain. Like, and, like he's pain in these bars if you actually listen to it.
Yeah, Future tough.
You know who I do like though? I like NBA, Young Boy.
Young boy.
I like that guy.
I can't listen to a project, but
I like that
Young Boy's
guy.
a jump.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say for me, man. Yeah, like young boy, young boy be cranking.
Bro, I be feeling like
He be cranking though. He be cranking.
He be
Bro,
cranking. I be
for
feeling that
sure.
passion though, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I ain't never, bro. Ain't too many times you listen to somebody and you actually like, bro. I be feeling. I'm
Yeah,
like,
some people be feeling the
damn,
pain
dog.
though.
But you know who else I fuck with crazy? Duke Deuce.
Okay.
Okay.
Son, his
Okay.
So Duke Deuce go crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Larry
Come on,
Jones.
Steve, man. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
Primo.
Shout out to engineer.
Yeah,
man. Get
He
some
got
time
some
in.
time. Yeah,
I mean, Primo
Larry,
Rice.
yeah, I think.
I mean,
Primo.
Rice.
See, that's another thing.
He be on the jump. He got jump
Yeah,
with Larry
Coach.
Jones.
Yeah, they was on the coast
Primo,
to coast.
yeah, I know Primo Rice, yeah. So I
He
listened
from
to
around
a little bit of his music for real. When y'all did the joint with him, I heard the song, but I had to tap in. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Well, I would say this too. Not to cut you off, but DMV music, like, I think the DMV rap scene is very, very in a very, very interesting place, right?
Okay.
Because there's no definitive sound. Like, people were talking about, like, people sometimes get mad about that runoff sentence, but it's true. Like, y'all not rapping on beat, and rap historically has been about rapping on beat.
Right,
Whether you like
For
it or
sure.
not, like, that's the truth. Like,
Facts.
I'm not about to argue with y'all. Y'all got that.
Right.
But the truth is, like, there's not, like, a real definitive sound, and there's so many artists now that are, like, kind of making waves. So, like,
sure.
what's your man, like, not just Lil Dude, not Shy,
Oh, you
Wale,
got Lil,
all
you
that.
got Lil Gray. You know
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a real push of guys who are like, I would call them like mid-tier, who could like in a year or two break and maybe will have a definitive sound. So like I think like little Young Manny,
Right,
Lil Gray, like these guys who like
Lake Arbor Records.
Yeah, Lake Arbor Records.
very
Shout out to
like
them.
very
Yeah, they've been
unique
grinding and working
sound.
too, man.
Very unique sound, and I'm just like, are enough of y'all gonna get on? So this is a regional thing.
Right,
Like
yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
I don't know what the area sounds like.
Right.
But there's a lot of people who make good music from here.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely
Illuminate
do.
301.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
I like his stuff. I like Primo. I like Sweezo.
Yeah,
Sweezo does a lot of
definitely,
like
he's
rock,
nice. Yeah,
different
Sweezo,
stuff.
Yeah, Sweezo definitely.
I mean, Havana Soul, as far as like women, I just
sure.
like aesthetically, like
Yeah.
I like those sonics. I like the airy wind stuff. Ankle John, bars. Like if you just want bars,
Yeah.
Ankle John?
I'm a conscious type of person, so yeah, I like the bars.
Ankle John, like if you just want bars and
Yeah.
like he does a lot of that.
My man ain't dropping them in the Moolah Omar. I need you to drop some.
Free Jacob does bars. Washington Slizzers, like that's what I'm saying. I think
It's a lot of people. Yeah,
it's just so
it's a
many
lot.
different sounds that it's hard to be like, this is what we have here.
Yeah,
So I
for
think
sure.
it's really hard to be like the DMV or
And they all
whatever.
talented in their own way.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, I
Just
just
gotta start just.
I wish
pushing and
more of them
working,
would,
just
wish
working
more
with each other.
would
Yeah.
do more of like
Yeah.
together so
sure.
that we could, like I said, have a sound.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm gonna say for me, Nipsey Hussle, Larry June. Who else? I like Dave East, man. Dave East story.
I was listening to Dave
Nah,
East
Dave
today.
East is a visual
Like
storyteller.
Dave East is just different.
Keisha did my man so dirty.
Who else? I mean, the new dudes. I probably have to say like definitely like Lil Baby for sure. NBA YoungBoy.
I like Lil Baby.
Gunna a little bit, not so much. A little bit, not
Gunna's
too
cool.
much. Gunna is cool though, for sure. And then
Gunna's more of a musician, it feels like.
I definitely say like just talking for real, like Dolph. Yeah, I can listen to Dolph.
I like Dolph.
I can listen to Dolph.
I like going to Dolph crazy.
Dolph
Yeah,
is
Dolph.
cool.
Yeah,
Dolph,
yeah.
my man.
He be
Dolph is
making you
cool.
want to go get some.
Oh,
money.
also, I
You
resided.
got to listen to that new Bankroll Freddy if you want
Gotcha.
to listen to something to get some money. So then
I heard that popping today. I like that. Who was I about to say? Oh, as I reside in New York, Griselda and Pop Smoke. Rest in peace to Pop Smoke.
Benny the Butcher's something serious.
That new
bro.
Conway tape,
gosh,
bro.
they all vicious though, bro.
what I'm
They
saying?
all vicious. I ain't bar heavy.
You know what I'm saying? They say
Yeah,
Benny
man.
the star, but Machine the silliest with the bars.
You hear me?
Facts, man. So, anything else y'all want to tell the people, man? Before y'all get up out of here, they need this pick me up. They need to understand like what the motivation is. Anything else y'all want to tell these people before we get up out of here?
Man.
Great question.
You got anything for that? Listen to High Codes the podcast.
For sure, man.
Check
Definitely.
out Hazy Thoughts, hazythoughts.com, all that good stuff. Also, be good to each other. Like,
sure.
you don't have to like each other, but be good to each other. Like, if you don't like somebody, get out their presence. Like, don't be around them. Like, don't like go searching for issues with people. I think that would just make the world a better place. Like, I think that's my thing. Like, most people who smoke or get smacked or whatever tend to be people who just kind of stay in their own little cells.
Talked
And
about that in our podcast.
yeah, so I think that would be my thing for everybody. Like, let's be a little nicer to each other, and like that will help us go a lot further.
Yeah. Retweet Charles on treating people better. Just mind your business, bro. For real. No, seriously, it's just like life has been very chill for me this last couple of weeks because I've been fasting and just been to myself. And I've been enjoying that time other than this week. But, you know what I'm saying? And tell your folks you love them, man. If
Yeah,
it's
life is
anything.
short, man. Rest in peace,
real
Terrence
life.
Clark.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Terrence Clark. Rest in peace to
Shock G.
Shock G.
Yeah, rest in peace to Shock G.
Michaela Bryant. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace,
to
Kentrell.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on, man. So
Yeah, and my last thing would be love on people.
yeah,
Yeah,
just love
for
all
sure.
people, man.
And not just like romantics, because I know that's the only type of relationships y'all care about, but like your homies, like really the
Your
people,
platonic ones.
the people you see that
If
you
it-
know.
Do they still have platonic relationships?
I don't know. Your friends, your coworkers, like love on people that you know and you see, because this life is crazy and short. So
Yeah, you never know when
You
Allah
never
gonna
know.
call you home, bro.
Yeah, man. I just feel like you got to inspire before you expire. That's one.
Woo, that's
Yeah, I
a
know.
bar.
I know.
That's a bar.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, definitely that, man. And check up
You
on
just
your
came up
homies.
with that?
Nah, you have to inspire before you expire. Like,
Oh,
you do.
I was
Yeah.
just asking if you just.
Oh,
you
no, I
just
mean, yeah,
came
that
up with
literally
That's
just
off the
came out.
top?
Yeah, literally.
Damn.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. You have to
I
inspire.
was
before you
about to
expire.
quote tweet you.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
For real,
Yeah,
you
true,
definitely
true.
have to do that, checking in on your homies, man, and really check with yourself before you check with somebody else, really, because
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, the insecurities, the expectations, got to carry your own weight and manage it too. Balance. Find the balance in life.
Everything in moderation.
You know what I'm saying? So I hope that y'all took some gems away from the High Codes podcast. These brothers right here, I'm rooting for y'all. Y'all already know that.
Appreciate
I'm
you,
supporting
Najee.
real, recognize real.
Appreciate
The
you,
harder you
Najee.
grind, the bigger you dream.
Dream.
The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. And we out. man.
Hey, I love it.
Hated producer.
Hello? Huh? What you doing? Are you grinding today? Are you working today? Are you putting something towards your dreams today? You said that the last time. What you mean? You saying you still trying to put it together? What you mean? I gotta do it? No, I'm not gonna do it. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Look, put it together. Hey man, look, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Stop going back to your past. Put in the works. Your past has nothing new to say. Grind hard, dream big. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. Let's go.